field in College Station, Texas. There you see the Denver starting lineup. And one of the keys, the left mid, is going to be Lee Moritz.
7 goals in 2023, the Summit League Newcomer of the Year. Wisman, who started in their season opener against North Carolina, she gets the start again tonight in goal.
And there's for Texas A&M. There you see Grace Ivy. Ivy, a sophomore, but just really getting her career underway at Texas A&M.
Yeah, 2 goals in the season opener and a 2-time Florida Gatorade High School Player of the Year. The other story is Sydney Fuller getting her first collegiate start in goal for Texas A&M.
Should be a good game again tonight. 2 veteran coaches will catch up with them as the game progresses. It's going to be first touch to Denver. Wind out of the south, which means it is blowing right to left. As you look at the game tonight, getting underway here, it is 97 degrees in College Station. The feels like temperature is a balmy 110. Already cooled off 3 degrees here in the last hour, though, so, you know, it's going in the right direction. Jeff, we talked in the open about these are 2 experienced teams. Did a little mathematics here when we were looking at the rosters. And starters for Texas A&M, they have appeared in the 11 starters out on the field have appeared in a total of 456 games. That's 41 games per player, if you look at it that way.
Yeah, a lot of experience on the field for both these squads. Again, there shouldn't be a whole lot of nerves out there with the number of starts and the number of minutes that both these sides have acquired over their careers.
And for Denver, virtually the same. For their 11 starters, they have appeared in a combined 450 games, about 40 games per starter. So again, averages, or you can say pretty much all you want to say with averages, but nonetheless, these are 2 experienced teams out there on the field. Having said that, for Texas A&M, in goal, you've got Sydney Fuller. Her first start is Micaiah McDonald. Looks to penetrate here early on, cuts the ball back, and I believe that should be a handball. Nope, I don't think there's going to be a call. And let's see if we're going to have a replay. I believe we are, right as we get started. The ball, it sure looked like a handball from this angle. And if you look at this partisan crowd, they certainly thought so too.
Yeah, and the referee did the right decision. He made the right decision here, in my opinion. He let the play evolve, waited for a natural stoppage, immediately stopped the clock and went to VAR. And again, it's such a subjective call, but in that situation, Dave, there's kind of 3 things you look for. Whenever there's a handball, whenever there's the question of a handball is, number 1, is the player in a natural position? Number 2, did she enlarge her body? And number 3, did she gain advantage from the handling of the ball? So we'll see the replay here. Looks like it might have got her in the face. I'm not terribly sure that's a handball, but VAR will confirm that.
I think you're right. I think it did get her in the face instead of the hand. When we first looked at it, I thought it was the hand, but I'm not sure it is now. But we'll see. Our official is still over on the sideline looking at the replay.
But her arm, both of her arms were in the air. It's such a bang-bang play, to kind of use a baseball term, that, yeah, it's natural for the crowd and for both teams, or for Texas A&M at least, to react the way they did to that situation.
What you saw there, interesting flow in the play in terms of Micaiah McDonald getting down the right flank. That's what you're going to see a lot from Texas A&M. Micaiah McDonald, Mia Pante, both with a lot of speed and like to penetrate down that channel and get the cross. Here comes the call. All right, there we go. That's what after looking at the replay, that's what we saw. It hit her head, not her hand. So we'll start off with a goal kick here, and we'll get back underway. I am so happy that the SEC college soccer has adopted VAR.
Yes.
That's what it's for right there, is to make sure you get the call correct.
The incorporation of VAR has never been the issue. It's the amount of time that they've taken to make a decision, and sometimes these decisions are heavily impact the game. But just like a challenge in football, as long as they're efficient with the time, then yeah, I absolutely love the idea of VAR being incorporated to the college game.
Well, the other thing though that is an issue in the college game for some colleges, the fact that this costs more money to get those cameras and get them in the right place and make sure that you're getting the angle when the ball crosses the goal line, those kind of calls, and to be able to replay this in a short order. And Texas A&M and the rest of the schools in the SEC have those kind of resources and enable them to put that into play. Becerra right there in the midfield for Texas A&M. Back to McDonald again on the near side. That was Addy Armenta, the right back, who sends it forward. Be a throw-in for Texas A&M. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, not only did she send it forward, she continued her run and underlapped Mekhi McDonald. In fact, now she finds herself into the attacking third, creating a numerical advantage over there on the right flank. But Dave, it's really interesting tactically. A&M in a 4-2-3-1 with a double pivot or a double six or two holding mids or however you want to phrase it. Denver is showing a 3-6-1 with a box midfield, so they're really trying to crowd up that center channel. So the key to this game is that you're going to try to see Pante and you're going to see Mekhi McDonald on the outside shoulder of those two outside backs for Denver. The key, in my opinion, is the two wing backs, if you will, those two wide players for Denver, and how they drop in transition to support those outside backs for Denver. Because if you give, you're living dangerously if you give Mia Pante and Mekhi McDonald too much space to attack. Especially in a 1v1 situation over there on the flanks.
Whistle and a foul called as Delaney at the just off the right sideline, and this ball is in a dangerous place there.
And Denver, Dave, to your point,
and it gives them options.
Yeah, and Denver, a very good team on set pieces, very good. They can hit up. They're not afraid to shoot from distance. They're very good on set pieces, and that's part of the reason you see Sydney Fuller in goal for A&M. It's because she's 5'11". So she might be able to deal with those shots from distance and those set piece opportunities a little bit better.
So if you were a college freshman starting your first game, particularly in a position as a goalkeeper, and there you see Sydney Fuller, would you rather start at home or on the road?
Well, for Texas A&M, for Sydney Fuller, I don't think it matters, to be honest with you, Dave, because of who she has in front of her. There is so much experience and so much talent. The starting back four from a year ago returns for Texas A&M. So regardless of who you play or regardless of where you play, I think that helps her take that big, deep breath in her first college start.
There's Pante trying to get in and turn the ball, and does. Lays it off into the middle. Mekhi McDonald, goal, Texas A&M. What a cutback pass by Pante and Mick.
And
Mekhi McDonald closing on the ball.
That's exactly what I alluded to just a couple minutes ago, Dave. Mia Pante over there with a ton of space in a 1v1, attacks the touchline. A driven left-footed service to the weak side to that far post. Mekhi McDonald with a really technically well-executed first-time left foot finish to the far post. Wisman's momentum was carrying her to the near post. She didn't have a chance at that ball. Here's the replay. Mia Pante gets inside the shoulder of the right back for Denver. That one-time left footer from Mekhi McDonald. 1-0 Texas A&M.
And there's one of the things I notice about that goal, and it comes from Mekhi McDonald having 2 seasons already under her belt. When she received that ball, I mean, she saw it coming. She saw where the keeper was. She didn't try to send it through the back of the net with just enough pace to get it where she wanted to put it. And when it did go to the back of the net.
But Dave, so let's think about this. Obviously, if you're Texas A&M, you want to continue the momentum. You want to keep your foot on the pedal, on the gas, and all those other cliches, right? But for Denver, think about who they opened with. They opened against North Carolina. Right. You know, sure, a little uncertainty in the North Carolina program right now. Anson Dorrance, arguably the best college coach of all time, retires somewhat surprisingly right before the season begins. But this is a Denver team that found themselves down 1-0 to North Carolina, hosting them last weekend in their season opener. Made some adjustments at halftime. Found a way to tie the game. So they are not afraid. These big moments, this deficit is not going to intimidate or affect this Denver squad based on, again, the number of minutes they've seen on the field and who they've already played this season.
Well, you're right. I talked to Coach Sitch before the game and asked her about those first 2 games, and she said, yeah, you know, they came away with some increased confidence as a result of the game against Carolina. And then in their second game against Idaho State, and there you see Coach Sitch, the second game, they dominated the game from a statistical point of view, and just couldn't quite find the back of the net. There you see in her second season, won the conference in her first season. Ball cut back, could be lost over the end line. But at any rate, she felt good. She said, that's soccer. That's the difference. There's such a fine line between winning and losing. And she said that they're going to be better as a result of both of those early season matches.
And I tell you what, in watching that game, Wisman was absolutely brilliant. She is a fearless goalkeeper. The timing of her approaches, her physicality, she's not afraid to go through bodies regardless of what color the jersey is to win that ball. Where she struggles a little bit is in shots from distance. Here we see Pante on the ball again.
That's a great combination there between number 21 for Texas A&M. That's Jasmine Wilkinson. And, of course, Mia Pante on the far side. Here come the Aggies once again. That's one of the A&M center backs up there in the attack. That's Carolyn Calzada. Be a throw in for Texas A&M on the far side of the field. You see the stands over there. Not a lot of people over there in the one of the east stands. They are looking directly into this sun right now. The stands on the west side, great crowd over here in the shade, but on that east side, it is a tough place to be this time of day. Here comes a counterattack from Denver. He starts across. That's out wide off of the foot of Samantha Dreiling. And then they lose it. It's going to be Pante coming back again.
Don't let that one go in.
Yeah, so this is where Denver might struggle, is breaking pressure. And this is somewhat of an issue with the shape they're playing. Again, we talked about the importance of those wide players in this 3-6-1, not just in how they defend, but how they transition from defense to offense and how high they're able to get onto the field. Because with A&M in this 4-2-3-1, they have two lines of width that they can use to break pressure. They obviously have Pante and Micaiah McDonald out wide, but Addison Armento, very forward-minded outside back, as is Macy Matula. They can both cover ground in a hurry. So if there's just that one wide player in that Denver 3-6-1, well, they're already at a numerical disadvantage there on those flanks. And then when you start pushing, that allows Armento to get forward. That allows Macy Matula on that left flank to get forward. And so it's kind of pick your poison. Do I defend space? And that means Pante's going to be running loose up there a little bit higher on the pitch. And now it's going to open up space in the center channel for the likes of Sydney Becerra, who has the ball at her feet right now. We now know how good she is hitting it from distance. So, again, it's going to be interesting to see how Denver goes about defending A&M and how they transition, how they break their shell and get out of their shape and try to get through the middle third and get forward.
Comes Denver up the near side. Texas A&M, of course, is led by G. Guerreri in his 32nd season at Texas A&M. He is the second winningest coach in NCAA college history among active coaches. 511 wins. Just an incredible career. One of the legends of college soccer.
Yeah, I think that's a great word, and just a great individual, a great human being as well. One of the good guys in the sport.
Be a throw in on the far side for the Pioneers. Hannah Tate will take it. Gets it in there quickly to Dreiling. Lost there, and the Aggies come on the counterattack. Kaya McDonald there gets past Riley Baker. And it's going to be picked up over there on the sideline. Once again, that is Lee Moritz with it. Turn it over, however, the Aggies and Becerra will switch the field.
What a touch by Pante there.
Shot taken just over the crossbar. Mia Pante from distance.
And that all started with that first touch with her left foot. And she brought it down right at her feet. There was no, but the defender was expecting a heavy touch. So when she brought it straight down to her feet, the defender was the right back, Crockett for Denver, was forced to step. She cut it inside, put on her right foot. Third touch, she released the ball on frame, almost tucked in that far side upper 90.
Here on the near side, that is Addie Armenta. She was all SEC freshman team, number 4 for Texas A&M.
There you saw Pante, excuse me, Dave, with her, essentially her heels on the sideline, creating as much width as possible in that space between Crockett and the sideline. Just waiting to be played that ball and attack Crockett on the dribble with tons of space to work with. Same thing here with Makai McDonald on the other side.
Back to McDonald from Wilkinson. Cross coming in. It's Grace Ivy who was closing for Texas A&M, just couldn't get there. Ball finally won there. Lee Moritz.
Combining with Riley Baker to break pressure there, and then a direct ball to Delaney McGowan.
McGowan there, or excuse me, Greeling, I believe it was. Yes,
Correct.
it was,
Yep.
in the middle of the field. She went about 15 yards there and didn't have a lot of support. She was, the two trailing players were far enough back that it was hard for her to create something.
That's much better from Denver there. Again, minimal touch soccer, playing the way they face, inside, outside, to break pressure there. Try to get themselves into the attacking third. Didn't quite work out, but the idea was good.
Back to Fuller. She'll switch the play. Back heel by McDonald. Nothing comes of it. And Denver got it, lost it, and it'll be a throw in Texas A&M. You see there in the middle of your screen, Margot Matula for Texas A&M. We'll get back to her in just a second, but she is one of a sister act on the back line between Margot Matula and Macy Matula for the Aggies. That is number 22 and number 18. There are 2 pairs of sisters playing for Denver. You got Samantha Dreiling along with her sister Grace Dreiling, and then you've got Vanessa Murray and her sister Megan Murray. And there is Macy Matula, we talked about just a moment ago. She's going to take the throw in for Texas A&M.
I heard that voice going,
Addie Armenta for Texas A&M. Shot taken, it'll go high from Grace Ivy. Ivy got 2 goals against Lamar herself. A sophomore there from Jacksonville, Florida. Played in 8 games last year. But we'll see a lot more action here in her sophomore season. Ball sent through. Matula close it down for Texas A&M. It'll be cleared out at the halfway line by Fuller.
A little bit of miscommunication there on that approach from Fuller. But you've already seen a little bit of a tactical tweak here, tactical adjustment by Texas A&M. They feel comfortable defending that box midfield from Denver with one holding midfield. So Grace Ivy has actually stepped up and is playing adjacent to Sydney Becerra, and that's just going to make Sydney Becerra, I think, more dangerous with the ball at her feet. I mean, two proven goal scorers, 4 goals between them in that opener against Lamar, which was a very good result for Texas A&M on the road in Beaumont, Texas. Not an easy place to play, not an easy opponent to play, but that's going to free up Sydney Becerra.
But Jeff, one of the things that that soccer fans are going to see as they look at play develop here tonight is Texas A&M, as here comes Denver here on the near side of the field. Out wide to the far side. You will see Texas A&M in with two outside backs as the shot's taken, poked high by Sydney Fuller. Great shot there.
And we talked about it. We talked about in the opening minutes is that, you know, Denver is not hesitant and very good at hitting the ball from distance and on set pieces. And here's a little bit of both. A shot from distance off the foot of Ella Frost, who scored the goal on a PK against North Carolina in their season opener. Threatening enough that Fuller did not feel comfortable handling that ball, punched it over the bar for a corner kick for Denver.
Yeah, and I mean, Frost, that had some pace on it, and it was a well-taken shot and a nice nice save there by Sydney Fuller, her first of the night. Frost comes in. It's going to be a goal kick coming up as it went off of the foot of Delaney McGowan. One of the things I started just a moment ago, Texas A&M with that four-back set, two outside backs, two center backs, and then you have Denver playing a three-back with one center back and two outside backs. Jeff, talk a little bit about you know, the differences and how that affects the way teams will play.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've seen it early on. You've seen a heavy dose of Pante and Makai McDonald because they're going to play a tight three. Because the last thing you want to do is defend Jasmine Wilkerson 1v1. You don't want her completely isolated on the center back. She can run at you. She can hit it from distance, and she's improved a lot, I think, in the offseason with her playing with her back to goal. So she can harm you a number of ways. You always want to have a second defender in the vicinity of Jazz Wilkerson. So you want to play a little bit tighter, kind of limit your range with that back three to the width of the 18. You know, so about 44 yards in width. And that's going to, but again, that's going to create a lot of space for Makai McDonald and Mia Pante. And so that's where those outside mids for Denver come into play, is how transitional does Coach Sitch for Denver want them to be in helping defend Mia Pante and Makai McDonald. And conversely, when you move forward, how much width do you want to create with those back three? How high up the field and how wide towards the sideline do you want those back three to those two outside backs in the form of Jordan Crockett and Riley Baker to go? Because the more space you create, well, then the more space that Jazz Wilkerson has, and if you turn the ball over, if it doesn't work out, more space for Mia Pante and Makai McDonald to counter into. So again, such a mental challenge to play with a back three in the modern college soccer game.
A&M with possession in the central third. 4 shots for Texas A&M, one of which has been on frame. It found the back of the net. 2 shots for Denver, and they have 1 on frame. Let's give and go there. Wilkinson for Texas A&M. Nice step in there by Lieve Moritz. She's going to bring it up into the central third. Square ball into the middle. That's Dreiling. Sends it into the middle of the field. That's Ella Frost. Nice give and go there. Trying to get it back to McGowan. As you watch this game unfold, you can tell. I mean, Texas A&M, right, has had the run of play here so far, but you can look at this Denver team and you see some real athletes out there, and you can see how this team over time is going to continue to get better.
Yeah, and their ideas in transition are not bad. They're just not necessarily technically executing on those ideas. But again, we've seen it a couple times. Their last couple counterattacks have been kind of a one-man show with McGowan on the ball or Ella Frost on the ball. or Drailing on the ball. They've got to get help from those wing backs, those outside mids, and you know, they've got to counter in more of a block of 3 to 5 as opposed to only counterattacking with 1 or 2. So a little bit of a mental adjustment in transition from Denver.
One touch there from Wilkinson. It's going to go out of bounds, and it will be a goal kick coming up. I believe. Nope, maybe a throw-in. We'll have to see. Yep, going to be a throw-in for Denver, right down there by the flag. There you see it, taking the throw-in. It's going to be Jordan Crockett. Crockett is one of those players, by the way. 80 games, 80 appearances for Denver. She is a fifth-year senior from Park City, Utah. But she's part of that experience we talked about early on in the game. 450 games, appearances by this Denver team that is on the field right now. Not the whole roster, just the ones that are on the field. There you see number 6 for Denver, Jordan Crockett. We're talking about her, the fifth-year senior. 80 appearances, 57 starts. Substitution for Texas A&M. I mean, she has to, Crockett, again, she has just been a workhorse for this Denver Pioneer team. A couple of substitutions for the Aggies. Checking out is going to be a Micaiah McDonald, along with Jasmine Wilkinson. Checking in for Texas A&M is going to be Allie Lowry. Lowry's a transfer. Where's number 35? She's a transfer from Rutgers.
All-conference player. You take Jazz Wilkerson off, leading scorer for Texas A&M. All you do is you put in a player that was all-conference and has been in the Final Four. So it doesn't get any easier for Denver when the fresh legs for Texas A&M come in. And then you have Kate Colvin, a highly experienced player who just plays at one speed. She just goes at you and goes at you. Very physical player, great in the air, can serve a ball, can strike a ball, but again, just plays 100 miles an hour.
Another substitutions there. We'll get these here in just a second. Addison Hyrup checked into the lineup for Denver. Redshirt senior out of Lakewood, Colorado. The Aggies with the ball. That is Pante, cuts it back. What a shot. Lowry takes it and sends it just wide.
And she was just offsides, unfortunately. But again, you saw the risk that you take there playing with a 3-back. Again, trying to build out of the back, using the 3-back. Poor decision on the ball. Hydration break here. Lowry immediately cuts off the channel to the center back. Pante jumps.
So it's a hydration break here for these players on the field. We're going to take a break as well, and we'll be right back right after this.
Not you again.
Well, we're back here at Ellis Field on the campus of Texas A&M University in Bryan College Station, Texas. There you see the Aggies over there in a huddle on the sideline taking some hydration. Interesting picture we're going to show you. Here you go. Alyssa Motts on the left, an assistant coach for Texas A&M. And on the right-hand side was Julianne Sitch, the head coach there at Denver. They both played together for the Chicago Red Stars of the National Women's Soccer League. Good friends, played together a long time. And then, and now both have gone into coaching. And there you see Alyssa Motts for Texas A&M. They're instructing one of the players, talking to Sydney Becerra. Motts plays a vital role on this staff for the Aggies. And there's Julianne Sitch instructing her player. That she is talking to there and to Samantha Dryland. Again, two excellent representatives of college soccer, of professional soccer, and then both coming back to still make major contributions to the game as assistant coaches.
And Coach Sitch for Denver is one of those coaches you love to watch. We watched her, we visited with her before the game. We watched her, but she is so involved and so hands-on with every facet of this team. She is on the field in cleats with her team during warm-ups. Again, two phenomenal representatives of their respective universities.
Denver with the ball. Nice ball out on the far side of the field for the Pioneers. And a great tackle. I believe that is going to be for the Aggies. Yeah, that is Macy Matula for the Aggies, another one of those all-conference performers.
Again, great timing and great technique here. Waits for the heavy touch.
Got ball first.
Got ball before player, completely legal. Did give up the corner kick, but again, phenomenal technique there in recovery from Macy Matula.
Corner kick taken by Addison Hirup, redshirt senior out of Lakewood, Colorado. Ball gets through the hands of Sydney Fuller, but saved there right on the back line. Here comes Denver again. Ball goes off of the, I believe, off of the post, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to see as we get a better look at it. But again, two opportunities in a row there. The Aggies, quite frankly, very, very lucky.
Very lucky to Denver, very close to finding the equalizer. Again, ball in, just that one-timer there.
Yeah, and
off the near post.
Yeah, it looked like Fuller maybe got a hand on it, but then it ricocheted off the post out of bounds. But again, that's what you see out of this Denver team. They are opportunistic, and they are very good. Header coming in, just sent wide. Denver really kind of picking up the pressure here, coming back from the break.
Yeah, and that's what you saw, again, in that opener in Denver against North Carolina, is that they went down 1-0. Kind of late in the first half, and then they found a way. They made some adjustments, and then they came back, and they were much more dangerous. Found the equalizer early in the second half in the form of a penalty kick, and guess what? It was Hannah Tate that was on the receiving end of the foul that created the penalty kick against North Carolina, and she's the one that hit the bar, and she just had that header opportunity just a couple seconds ago.
McGowan sends the ball in. That was Michaela McGowan. Again, Denver with pressure on Texas A&M. Set out of bounds here on the near side. Ball out of bounds right in front of the Aggie bench.
Kind of getting glimpses of Allie Lowry's work ethic up there. Playing as the 10, or that target forward up there in the 4-2-3-1 for Texas A&M. She's going to put a ton of pressure on the Denver back three. She's going to throw tackles. She's going to grab jerseys. She's really going to make life uncomfortable for the back three of Denver. Kennedy Clark giving chase. Again, she came in for Grace Ivy. She's playing next to Sydney Becerra. Again, I'm not sure I've seen a player with a lower or better center of gravity than Kennedy Clark. Very good in tight spaces, very good with the ball at her feet, and a pretty good distributor like you see here.
Lowry with it, tries to cut it in. What a pass. Pate shot just wide.
She hit that first time. She wants that back. She just kind of came outside in on that ball and sliced it wide of the far post. And I think she could have taken a touch there and got Wissman a little bit unbalanced.
That was Kennedy Clark. Nicely weighted ball to Lowry, and then again another great weighted ball over there to Pante. Look at that cut through traffic. Right to better than that.
No, I really think she should have taken a touch and tried to put Wissman's heels in the ground and get her unbalanced.
Becerra from Lowry. Becerra cuts it back. Allie Lowry again. That's Kennedy Clark.
Just tried to lift it through the gap to Lowry there on that underlapping run. So A&M is answering a little bit of momentum there out of the water break for Denver. A&M has now answered. They're on the front foot. A couple of dangerous opportunities in the attack and third over the last couple minutes.
I tell you, Jeff, this has been a fun game.
It really has.
Here.
It really has. And again, you look at this. You look at this early season schedule for Texas A&M and
shot there. Goal for Denver, the Pioneers.
Shot from distance, buries it into that near side upper 90. Getting good combination play at the top of the box. Found that window of opportunity. Nobody stepped and really contested that ball for Texas A&M. Just out of the, just Fuller completely outstretched there. What a shot.
Michaela McGowan with the goal. That is the fourth goal of her career.
Yeah,
the first this season.
Not much that Fuller could do there. Completely outstretched. And that's Sydney Fuller's 5'11". She was fully outstretched there, and she had no chance. But again, it was just a little bit of a false takeover, what's called a takeover, Dave, where the player with the ball attacks one of their teammates with the intention or the idea that they're going to give that ball away as they meet one another. She kept it, but then slid that ball back right into her teammate, and then again that shot from distance was just phenomenal. Just the equalizer for Denver completely changes the look of this game. 1-1, Texas A&M and Denver.
Handball called on Denver. The Aggies will have a restart. On that goal for Denver, it was Hannah Tate and Samantha Dreiling with the assists.
Hannah Tate has been the difference for Denver since the water break.
Ball parried away. Lowry tried to get I did get a boot on it, but couldn't get it past the traffic.
A little bit of chaos here on the end of a set piece opportunity. Kennedy Clark with the effort. Margot Matula just trying to redirect it. Lowry with the follow-up off the deflection. But good effort there by the wall of defenders behind Wisman, who was a little bit off her line there. Net was a little bit exposed. Prevented A&M from taking the lead.
That's Caroline Calzada with the ball, sends it across the halfway line. Sydney Becerra chips the ball down long on the near side. That's Kate Colvin. Throw in here on the near side, right below us. That's Kennedy Clark for Texas A&M. Jeff mentioned her really low center of gravity, hard to get off of the ball. She had an assist in the first game against Lamar for Texas A&M. She is a sophomore out of Crestview Hills, Kentucky, and a transfer from Xavier.
Yeah. Again, so good in tight spaces. Like you said, Dave, really hard to knock off the ball. Again, she's tucked in there next to Becerra. A&M content to just play with a single 6, a single holding mid, essentially defend with 5. Looks like Becerra's going to drop in and kind of play a little bit deeper, try to find the ball at her feet. Again, she's got some of the best vision in possession on the field. And again, we talked about it during the pregame. The more she touches the ball, the better off A&M's going to be.
Colvin, one-touch pass there. That's Kennedy Clark. Can't get to it. Sent away nicely on the back line there by Jordan Crockett. Becerra comes out with it. It's Taylor Pounds. Pounds, another one of those experienced players for Texas A&M.
That's a great ball to break pressure.
Here comes Denver out wide again. That's McGowan. Holds up play just a little bit.
A little heavy there on the entry pass, but what a ball. From Riley Baker from her left back position, a risky ball, a driven ball from the ball side defensive third to the weak side middle third.
Yeah, and Chiniak for Denver was really making a nice run, but the ball just a little bit mistimed. They couldn't connect on it, but Chiniak is one of those players. She is a junior from Sydney, Australia, and a really nice little player for Denver. Into the middle of the field, the Pioneers, Vanessa Murray sends it out wide, far side. Margot Matula sent it away. I tell you what.
That was Michaela McGowan.
Yeah, again. And here comes Kate Colvin for the Aggies. Still with the ball, pokes it through to Lowry. And Lowry couldn't get it turned around. It's going to be a goal kick, however.
I love the idea. A little bit of a delayed commitment there from Lowry. Kate Colvin tries to commit the center back for Denver. That's Thielbar. Eventually does. Lowry with that inside outside to that near post and tries to one-touch it in between Weissman and the near post. Just couldn't quite wrap her foot or redirect her hips towards the goal. Mia Pante with a little bit of delayed run on the weak side.
All right, we got a stoppage in play here as Kate Colvin for Texas A&M. She has had some hamstring trouble, and it looks like she kind of kneeled down. Maybe that may have re-injured that. 2 substitutions for Texas A&M. Taylor Jernigan checked into the lineup along with Leah Perot also in. It was Pante who checked out for Texas A&M. We'll see who else checked out of the lineup.
Becerra came out and
Sydney Becerra.
Kat Campbell into the game.
Yep, Kat Campbell into the game for Texas A&M. Campbell picked up her first collegiate goal in her first game. The freshman from Frisco, Texas, picked that up, of course, against Lamar last Thursday night for Texas A&M. Lowry steps in front of that ball, picks it off, lays it out near side. That's Perot. Kind of looking for the cross. Cuts it in. Right in front of the goal. Shot. Blocked. Shot was taken there by Kat Campbell. The Aggies recover. And we're going to have cleared away by Denver.
Wow, what a reaction save. It doesn't have to be pretty, just has to be effective, and it was from Wisman.
Yeah, Wisman with a great job there.
Well, and with goalkeeping, Dave, I'll touch on that here in a second.
Kennedy Clark gets it into the middle of the field. It was Allison Lowry trying to close on it and poked away.
Just a great early ball from Kennedy Clark. She could have turned her hips and attacked the near post, but she saw Allie Lowry just taking an angle to that near post and played her in. And there you see the Wisman save again. And that was Wisman taking the angle away. Your footwork as a goalkeeper is your first line defense, and Wisman there did well approaching that ball and just, again, doesn't have to be pretty.
Comes in, hits the underside of the crossbar and stays out. Texas A&M has been working a lot on corner kicks, and you can see that it's beginning to pay off. That was
Macy Matula.
Macy Matula, who got her head on the ball. Yep, and remember, folks, if you're kind of a casual viewer of soccer, the ball has to be completely over the line to be considered a goal or to be considered out of bounds or whatever the case is. So the ball can be right on the line. If all of the ball is not all the way over the line, it is not considered over the line.
Correct.
So that's why that wasn't a goal.
And great job from our crew on the goal cam there. It gave us a really good view and confirm that that indeed was not a goal.
Kara Wynn checks into the lineup for Denver. She is a redshirt freshman out of Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Was in 2 games last year. Ball will go out of bounds. Corner kick coming up now for the Pioneers, and they have been pretty effective on these corner kicks. Really put some pressure on Texas A&M. Ella Frost will take the corner for the Pioneers. Headed over the crossbar, and it will be another corner kick. I thought it was an Aggie player who had it. That was a dangerous clearance right there. So it'll be the other side now. Addison Hirup's going to take the corner from the far side. The entire field now in shade, which is making the temperature a lot more tolerable here at Ellis Field. Ball comes in, poked away by Fuller for the Aggies, but saved, sent back in. Margot Matula who sent it out, but over there, of course, is McGowan. Ball right in the middle, and it's going to be a goal, Texas A&M and Denver. Or excuse me, goal for Denver, and they're going to take the lead here 2-1. With 5:35 left to play in the first half.
Yeah, just a poor clearance from Texas A&M. They had committed numbers into transition, just a first-time ball. Margot Matula essentially left out there by herself. And I think it was Jordan Crockett, perhaps, the right back, who put it in the back of the net beyond Fuller to take the 2-1 lead.
Ella Frost got the goal.
Ella Frost, was it Ella Frost?
Yep, second goal of the season. Second tonight.
Again, just buries it in that side netting with the one-timer. Again, we talked about the experience of this Denver team. We talked about the success of this Denver team, already tested early on in the opening weekend of this young college soccer season. And again, it's capitalization of the few opportunities that Denver has had, and it's missed opportunities for Texas A&M to this point.
I said that was the second goal for Ella Frost. That is not the case. Of course, it was for Denver. It was Michaela McGowan who got the first goal.
Second for Ella Frost on the season. She was the goal scorer against North Carolina. Absolutely. On that penalty kick.
You are right. So, you know, Texas A&M comes out and they score early, and then I wonder if you get a goal that early, you win your first game 5-0. If you kind of subconsciously maybe think, all right, we got this. Well, against a team the quality of the Denver Pioneers, that is not the case. And to the extent that Texas A&M may have had that notion, they have been disabused of that here as the half has progressed. Here comes Kennedy Clark, going to lay the ball off. Allison McGowan, shot, goal! Texas A&M, Allison Lowry.
And there you see the effectiveness and the vision of Kennedy Clark. Turnover in the middle third, commits the defender. Perfect timing on her pass, so her defender could not step into Finn's space as well. Slid it into Allie Lowry, and all she does, all she knows how to do is finish. Just a one-timer there beyond Wisman. Attacks that near post, equalizes the game, and that's exactly the response that Texas A&M needs. 2-2.
That's her first goal for Texas A&M. Again, a transfer from Rutgers. She's a grad student. She had scored 21 goals for Rutgers, so she is no stranger to putting the ball in the back of the net. That's a big goal potentially for Texas A&M. When you give up 2 to go down by 1, to come back and tie it up in the remaining few minutes of the first half, and to go into that locker room tied as opposed to 1 down, if in fact they do.
But again, the timing of that entry pass from Kennedy Clark, the timing, the weight, and the angle of that pass could not have been better, right into Ali Lowry's run.
It's Clark again with it. Chips the ball ahead. Going to be sent out of bounds there. It's Riley Baker, number 2. Baker's a senior out of Castle Rock, Colorado. Another one of those experienced players. 58 appearances for the Pioneers.
Big overlapping run from Addy Armenta there.
Cross comes in. Armenta, it's going to go behind the crossbar. It'll be a goal kick for the Pioneers here.
And she had Lowry on in the center of the 6 and Taylor Jernigan making a delayed run, attacking that weak side. So there were numbers in the box, just didn't quite wrap her foot around the ball and bend that toward that outswinger away from Wisman.
You know, this first half for Denver, this has really got to be a confidence builder for them, this first half.
Oh, without question. Yeah.
I mean, they came in, lost by a goal to UNC, were shut out in their second game, and here they are on the road against the number 24 team in the country, and they come in and score 2 second-half goals. 2 first-half goals, and have tied it up at 2-2. That's got to be a real confidence builder.
Yeah, 0-2 early on in the season, and really kind of missed opportunity against Idaho State at home. Really dropped that. Statistically dominant, just absolutely dominant in that game. And again, just an unfortunate error from the goalkeeper there to drop that one to Idaho State. But it wasn't for lack of shots or lack of shots on goal. They just couldn't put it in the back of the net. But again, experience. There's no panic in this team. They've been there. They've done that, not just historically, but this season already against one of the best programs in the nation.
Nice job there by the Aggies to get in there and step in front. That's Leah Perreault. Lowry battling for it. Shot comes away. It was Clark who tried to send the ball in. It goes off of the body of a Pioneer defender. It'll be a throw-in for Texas A&M. We're under 2 minutes now left to play in the first half. When we get to the end of the first half, don't go anywhere. We got some great stuff coming up for you at halftime. Taylor Jernigan for Texas A&M, sent out of bounds over the end line. This should be a corner kick for Texas A&M, and it will be. Perreault's going to take it. Aggies again going up, trying to compete for the ball. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul call there on Macy Matula. Went into the back of Jordan Crockett. Aggie fans here on this side of the stadium disagree with that, but I think it was probably the right call.
Yeah, I just made quite a bit of contact with the player before making contact with the ball on a what appeared to kind of be a scissor tackle. So I have no issue with the call.
Yeah, that was a correct call right there. Got body before ball. From the Aggies again. Perreault sends the ball down, trying to get it to Kennedy Clark, but they don't connect. They're over the near sideline as we approach 10 seconds left to play in the first half. All right, that's the first 45 minutes of this contest here at Ellis Fielding. We're going to go in the locker room tied 2-2. Jeff, your thoughts on the first half and what you saw?
I thought obviously Denver's got to be ecstatic with how they responded to giving up an early goal. A&M with that early goal, a lot of confidence, and then missed opportunities kind of plagued them throughout the second half. That finished on a good note with a really good late goal off the turnover, the combination from Kennedy Clark into Ali Lowry. So A&M's got to clean some things up again. Defend a little bit better in transition and be a little bit more effective in the offensive third.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here. Again, we've got some great stuff coming up at halftime. Don't go anywhere. You're going to really enjoy some of these features coming up. We'll be right back right after this. And scored to go ahead, but then to their credit, after going behind, Texas,
Don't worry.
You're not alone.
We can do this.
back and scored to go ahead. But then, to their credit, after going behind Texas A&M just a minute after Denver scored, the Aggies come back and tie it up off a goal by Allison Lowry that you saw. So, you know, both of these teams kind of got off the mat, so to speak, to come back and get back in this contest. And it's, you look at the stats, 7 shots for Denver so far. They put 3 of those shots on frame. The Aggies with 13 shots, 4 of which have been on frame. You look at corner kicks, however, Denver with 4-2 for Texas A&M. So, you know, I always kind of look at corner kicks as being a little bit indicative of you know, play down there in the finishing third. A&M dominated the game early in the finishing third, but it was as the game progressed, it became Denver who really put some strung some nice passes together and kept the pressure on the A&M back line.
Well, the story is that from the opening whistle to the water break, it was all A&M. Took the early lead in the 5th minute. Multiple chances in the attacking third, but multiple missed opportunities, Dave.
Right.
And then Hannah Tate really elevated her game. She started to combine with Michaela McGowan. Ella Frost got more involved. Hannah Tate hit the post. Hannah Tate with a header opportunity. Hannah Tate with the assist on Michaela McGowan's rocket from distance. And then, again, A&M poor on the clearance, committed numbers to transition, getting out of the box, just a ball over the top. And then it finds a foot Ella Frost for that 2-1 lead. And so it was all Denver from water break until about the 40th minute. And then A&M found themselves behind. They turned it on again. Kennedy Clark found the ball at her feet on a turnover in the middle third. Committed Emma Thielbar, the center back for Denver, opened up space in behind. Allie Lowry with a streaking run into that space. Timing of her entry pass was perfect. Allie Lowry with the equalizer with about 4 minutes left in the half, and that's where we are, 2-2. So the story is, you know, the goal coaching cliche, the first 5 minutes. How did both of these teams respond in the first 5 minutes? Any tactical changes, any personnel changes to be determined, but Dave, it's going to be a great second half.
Yeah, I think you're right. And we're going into this second half. The wind, I should point out, has picked up. You can see the flags in the upper left-hand corner of your screen there. The wind has begun to pick up, and it will be Texas A&M with the wind at their back in the second half. There you see the flags. And so it's blowing right to left as you look at the field, and that's the direction that Texas A&M will be going. And so we'll see what effect that has on the game as the wind picks up. And I've got a question about that, and I'll come back to that in just a second. But the first question I wanted to ask, Jeff, you know, so you've got Sydney Fuller, a freshman, playing her first game. She gives up 2 goals in the first half. Both of them really kind of in the second half of the first half, if you will. What is her mental state right now, and what do the coaches say, if anything, at halftime to maybe kind of settle her down?
Well, you look at this. A goalkeeper is such a mental position, is so mentally demanding, and you look at this. And you've got to pull the positives out of it. Again, a freshman starting her first game against a legitimate opponent. And the good thing is the 2 goals that she gave up, Dave, were unsavable goals. They were not directly her fault, and they were unsavable goals. On McGowan's goal, she was completely outstretched. McGowan just inches underneath the crossbar. It was a bomb. No saving that. The other one was poor defending in transition, a one-time ball over the top, found Ella Frost's feet on an entry pass. She had a one-timer, hit the side netting, nothing she could do there. Carolyn Calzada was retreating just outside of her head. She did make some mistakes, but she was not punished by any of those mistakes in the second half, so she's just got to take a deep breath.
Dreiling takes a shot. Speaking of Sydney Fuller, nice save on the dive.
And that was my next point. Is that's exactly what she needs. Is that a early save in this second half to get a little bit of confidence there, and she's got to trust her back four. Her back four have a ton of experience, but this was a great technical save there. Again, a 2-handed parry save beyond that near post. So again, that's an early deep breath, an early sense of confidence for Sydney Fuller.
You know, talking about the mental side of it as we come up on this corner kick, I want to get back to that in just a second. Ball comes in, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul called. I believe pushing in the back, yep, is the call. We're talking about mentally as a goalkeeper. You know, if you look at somebody like Sydney Fuller, there you see her right there. If you're soft mentally, you cannot play that position.
Correct.
And she has been successful at every level. that she has played. And so I don't think it's a mental thing. I think it's just, you know, again, getting in a situation as the ball goes wide there, getting in a situation where you just had to make saves that couldn't be made. The other thing I want to talk to you about, you know, the Aggies going, as you see Mia Pante right there, the Aggies going with the wind here in the second half, and the wind kind of picking up. Now, back in the day when I was a pitcher, I always liked to pitch into the wind because it made the ball move that much more.
Sure.
Does that carry over into soccer so that when you're getting a shot off and you're shooting into the wind versus with the wind, that you really kind of like, you might pick up some extra movement on the ball?
It depends on the direction of the wind and the velocity of the wind. So it absolutely can, but it is completely situational. It's not a blanket or umbrella statement that you can say, oh, we have the wind, that's going to do crazy, unpredictable things with the ball.
Another cross coming in. Great job there by Margot Matula to save a potential goal and clear it out the side.
So we are less than 4 minutes into the game. Denver has had 3 legit opportunities, and Michaela McGowan has been involved in all 3 of those. 2 shots and then that service to the weak side.
And that'll be a goal kick. See this ball coming in. Let's take a look at it here.
And so the insertion of Michaela McGowan into, wow, what a great opportunity. Just tried to put it back across the face of goal for somebody to one-time it in. The insertion of Michaela McGowan at the water break and the elevated play of Hannah Tate have really made a difference for this Denver squad offensively.
Ball lost out of bounds on the far side. It'll be a throw-in for Texas A&M. It has been all Denver here in the second half.
Yeah, and to your earlier point, Dave, I equate the goalkeeper with, if you want to equate it to a position with the other football, the pointy football, right, is a cornerback. Because with a cornerback, not a quarterback, because they get the ball every snap, but a cornerback has limited opportunities to not mess up.
Right.
And if they do mess up, give up a touchdown, you know, miss an interception opportunity, they've got to have a short-term memory. Goalkeeper's got to be the exact same.
Mia Pante down the alley on the near side. Nice defensive play. We're going to have a foul, though, however. It's going to be called by Jordan Crockett, and actually that is the right foul. She went into Mia Pante without getting any body on the ball.
So Mia Pante took a heavy touch there and tried to turn the corner, and Jordan Crockett jumped into that space right into her run and committed and forced Mia Pante to commit that foul. Great individual defending in space.
Great job there.
Can't win the ball. Can't win the ball, so she took space away. Interrupted Mia Pante's run. Phenomenal 1v1 defending.
Ball headed back. Calzada will lose it out of bounds, trying to connect to Pante on the near sideline.
So, Dave, we haven't even talked about this yet, but A&M has shifted their shape. They are in a 3-5-2 now. So they are content to defend Denver's one front runner with their 3 in the back. Macy Matula not on the pitch. Spent the entire first half at the left back position. So it's Calzada, Margot Matula at center back, and Addison Armenta at right back. And Makai McDonald kind of hanging back there as a wing back on the weak side, but I imagine she's going to be more of a offensive-minded flank player, playing wide in a 3-5-2. Mia Pante on the left side, and then you have the middle 3 of Taylor Pounds. And I'm trying to see who she's paired with in the middle there.
I believe it might be Pirro, I think.
Pirro, yep. So she's tucked in underneath with Sydney Becerra at that attacking mid position. Taylor Pounds by herself at the 6. And then Allie Lowry and Jazz Wilkerson up top. So they're going to go at Denver's 3 back with 2 front runners in this second half.
Foul on Margot Matula of Texas A&M. It'll be a free kick coming up for the Denver Pioneers, and taking it will be Jordan Crockett. Again, Crockett, 5th-year senior from Park City, Utah, sends the ball in. Nice job by the Aggies. Wilkinson sends it away. Ball comes ahead to Lowry in some space. Micaiah McDonald coming down the middle of the field.
A phenomenal tackle there.
Absolutely phenomenal.
By Thielbar.
Thielbar just she made the play she had to make. And here comes on the counterattack the Denver Pioneers, and all of a sudden it is Michaela McGowan breaks through. She lays the ball off, shot, goal, Denver.
Just a textbook counter from Denver there. Again, find the width. A&M playing with a back three, more space on the flank. She was able to get behind Mia Pante. They found her. Michaela McGowan compressed the back three, committed the back three, laid that ball off for that weak side runner. 3-2 Denver.
Megan Murray with the goal. That is her first goal as a Denver Pioneer. And again, it was McGowan gets the ball in the middle of the field. Shot taken there. Megan Murray with the goal.
Yeah, Megan Murray with this touch here, committed Sydney Fuller to the middle of the field and had her feet flat, put her heels in the ground. She could not go either way, finished at far post with that inside first touch.
Well, this game just goes back and forth. First goal you see there for Megan Murray, first goal of the season. That is the first goal as well of her career.
So Carolyn Calzada could have done a little bit better there. Again, in that numbers down counterattack situation, you don't want to overcommit to the ball. She really probably should have slowed the counterattack, just given McGowan a little bit of space and waited for Mia Pante to recover as that trailing second defender. She overcommitted to the ball. Michaela McGowan cut her inside, and that led to that assist. Big time, big game for Michaela McGowan tonight.
Aggies on the attack again as we go back and forth in this game. Lowry tried to slide a ball through there, sent away by Denver. Here they come on the counter. Hannah Tate with it. Drops it back. Crockett sends it forward. Now on the near side, Dreiling. And lost out of bounds on the near side. Trying to get the ball there to Crockett, but they misconnected. It'll be a throw-in for Texas A&M. There you see the back of the fifth-year senior from Park City, Utah, Jordan Crockett.
And this is the right idea from A&M here. Just establish a little bit of possession, settle things down.
Long ball sent forward by Calzada. Nobody can run it down. The Aggies get it right back. Sydney Becerra to Pounds and back out on the near side. The Aggies will reset it.
Denver still in their 3-6-1, playing that box midfield, you know, crowding up the center of the center channel, trying to deny the entry ball to Pirro and to Sydney Becerra. Taylor Pounds trying to find a pocket of space there. So her role has kind of changed a little bit. She's got to, can't be so forward-minded and so aggressive in her forward movement. She's got to protect the back three a little bit more.
Micaiah McDonald tried to one-touch a ball forward for Lowry to run onto, but just too much pace on the ball. It'll be a goal kick coming up for the Denver Pioneers. We looked, you look at the shots we said at halftime. If I could find my sheet again. Texas A&M had a significant margin at halftime in terms of
13 shots, 4 on goal, and Denver was 7 with 4 on goal.
Yep, total shots at half was 13 for Texas A&M and 7 for Denver, and now it is 13 still for Texas A&M and 11 for Denver.
So over 50%, and that's kind of that statistical target, right? When you're talking about shots and shot on goals, you want it to be at or above 50%. Denver right at that mark.
Yeah, 6 of 11 and 4 of 13 for Texas A&M in terms of balls on frame. The throw in for Denver on the near side. Jordan Crockett will come up to take it. It's Crockett going to send the ball in. Headed away there by Addie Armenta for Texas A&M. Sent back in, but well over everything, and it'll be a goal kick coming up for Texas A&M. Again, the run of play here in the second half, early on, first 12 minutes or so of the second half, has belonged to Denver. Lee Moritz won it, played it out near side. Michaela McGowan on the crossing run there to Samantha Dreiling, but she can't control it, and it will be a goal kick coming up for the Aggies once again.
Man, that is their go-to on breaking pressure through the middle third is McGowan just absolutely takes off and does everything she can to get underneath Mia Pante here on the near side. Right flank for Denver, left flank for Texas A&M.
Becerra ahead to McDonald, out wide. That's Lowry with the ball now. She's going to chip it through back to Wilkinson. Blocked nicely and cleared, but the Aggies get it back. Pante with it through the middle. That's McGowan. She'll send it out wide, trying to get it on the far side of the field to Perot, but they don't connect, and it will be a throw-in for Denver out of their back third. Riley Baker will take it. Baker's another senior from Castle Rock, Colorado. Another one with a lot of experience. This is her 59th appearance for the Denver Pioneers. Addie Armenta there on your screen, sophomore for Texas A&M. Pante loses possession.
Yeah, Pante's going to try to create as much width as possible, try to create as much space as possible. But as you saw right there, if she's going to create spacing to her player, you got to play it right to her feet. There's no room for error because Michaela McGowan's going to jump that poorly weighted pass or jump that heavy touch, and then boom, you have a jailbreak counter for Denver.
Throw in for the Pioneers. Here right below us. Crockett will take it. Ball over the head there of Megan Murray. The Aggies come up with it. Margot Matula tried to send it into the middle of the field, but can't connect there. And here comes Denver one more time. And that's Dreiling. Sends a crossing ball in. Great run on the far side of the field. Trying to close on that ball.
Ready?
See who that was. I think it might have been Liv Moritz. We'll see.
I believe so. Look at that bending ball over. Addie Armenta.
No, that was Ella Frost again.
Was that Ella Frost again? Yep.
Why would I doubt that?
Addie Armenta just couldn't get a piece of that ball. Just a perfectly weighted bending ball right into her run.
Long ball forward. Lowry trying to run it down for Texas A&M and can't win it. Now the Aggies keep it in the attacking half. And so what you see, or what I'm seeing anyway, I want to see if you agree, Jeff, is that here in the second half, Texas A&M still trying to sort everything out in terms of what they're doing, while Denver, on the other hand, they're playing with a lot of confidence.
A lot of confidence, yeah. And I'm trying to establish a little bit of possession with their back three, trying to find pockets of space, trying to work the ball laterally to kind of stretch out this box midfield for Denver. Try to find Sydney Becerra's feet, trying to get Mia Pante more involved. Again, two key players who are so good and so dangerous with the ball at their feet have not had much of an impact here. Mia Pante's done more chasing the ball than she has attacking with the ball. So they've got to find a way to get her more involved here on the left side of their attack.
Substitutions, 2 of them, as a matter of fact, for Texas A&M. Georgia Leb checks into the lineup, as well as, let's see who else came into the lineup for Texas A&M. There's Leb, number 23 for the Aggies. Oh, Taylor Jernigan, excuse me. So is Jernigan in for Micaiah McDonald and Leb in for Mia Pante. And they move Perot, the Aggies do, move Perot out to the left flank where Pante was. Jernigan on the far side is going to be poked out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Texas A&M. Sent out of bounds over there by Liev Moritz.
Yeah, creating width creates space in the center. So if you're going to play outside, you got to find a way to get it back out inside, whether that's on a service or combination play. So they're in that 3-5-2. They're in that 3-5-2, so they want to, but they only have one line of width now. They had 2 lines of width in the first half between their outside backs and their outside forwards, or their outside midfielders, however you want to frame it in their 4-2-3-1. Now you've gone to a single line of width, so you still want to establish width, but you just don't have as many resources as you did in the first half. So A&M trying to find a way to create width, stretch this, again, get Denver out of their shape, create space, pockets of space for the center mids, but once you go outside, you've got to find a more efficient way of going inside, or at least a more dangerous way of going inside.
Kira Flanagan checks into the lineup along with Blythe Sales for Denver. And the third substitution checking back in is Addison Hyra. So Denver getting some fresh legs in the lineup. And for both of these teams, Jeff, you're here. We're about 20 minutes into the second half, and we'll probably have a hydration break here coming up in a few minutes. But this is where the heat and the humidity really begin to kind of really have an impact. Here is about halfway through the second half.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely could. Again, if you've been to Denver in the summer, it has Denver can get over 100 degrees. It can get really, really hot, and you're 5,000 to 6,000 feet closer to the sun. So
true enough.
Heat is not the issue, but you're right. To your point, incredibly dry up there in the foothills.
Jasmine Wilkinson drops it back. Perot sent out of bounds. Throw in for Texas A&M. And let's see, one more substitution checking in for Denver. Will be Jaden Goodrich. He's a senior out of Golden, Colorado. Another one of those experienced players for Denver. This is her 60th match for the Pioneers.
Hannah Tate getting a well-deserved rest. Again, the difference maker, her and Michaela McGowan in the first half. Again, picked up where they left off here in the second half.
For the Aggies, substitution as well. Allison Lowry checks out of the lineup, and Reese Roop is in for Texas A&M. Roop, the redshirt freshman from Spring, Texas.
Oh, great idea there. Couldn't quite find Kennedy Clark's feet. But good penetrating idea there from Taylor Jernigan on that right side. And not a bad idea there. If they're going to play a high line, especially with the back three, there is space to exploit in behind. So you can't rely on the long ball. You can't, even when you have 2 forwards now, you can't consistently just pump in a long ball after long ball after long ball, but you can mix it into the attack.
Kennedy Clark to Roop, who got the shot off.
A little deflection off the tackle there.
Yep, absolutely. And a stop, nice stop there by
Good reaction
Wisman.
save from Wisman, yeah.
Wisman just a sophomore.
And with those
Santa Fe, New Mexico, excuse me, Jeff, and she started every game last year for this Denver Pioneer team.
And again, started that game against Carolina, where she was huge in that game against Carolina. Just really a fearless goalkeeper, like I talked about early in the game. Really good on her approach, really physical keeper. Again, not afraid of contact at all. But what A&M can do now with their front, not only do they have 2 forwards in the attack, but they have 2 forwards now that you can press a little bit more aggressively with those 2 front runners against Denver's back 3.
Ball lost out of bounds on the far side. It'll be a throw in for Denver, just short of the halfway line. So Denver, after this game, will continue their Texas tour as they go down to where the Aggies just left. They'll go to Beaumont, Texas to play the Lamar Cardinal. Addie Armenta with a defensive play cleared away by Margot Matula. For Texas A&M, the Aggies will be back on the pitch here at Ellis Field on Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Special starts time at 8 o'clock. Shot taken there. Fairfield will come down to take on the Aggies, a very good East Coast team. We may not have heard a lot about them here in Texas, but I'm telling you what, they are a good program. Team out of Connecticut. Square ball in the middle of the field. Denver now gets it in some space. It's Flanagan. Poked out of bounds by Calzada for Texas A&M. Vanessa Murray with it. Dreiling will lay it back here on the near side to Crockett. Long ball forward, cleared away by the Aggies and Margot Matula, and a throw in again for the Pioneers in their attacking third here on the near side of the field. Shots are tied at 14. The Aggies have put 5 on frame. Denver has put 6 on frame. Great tackle there by Calzada for Texas A&M. Whistling a foul. That is Ella Frost going into the back of Kennedy Clark for Texas A&M. There you see Carolyn Calzada, first team all-conference performer for Texas A&M last season.
And I'm having a bit of trouble here breaking pressure in their defensive third.
Here comes Denver again. Shot taken, fielded on a hop there. Off the foot again of Samantha Dreiling. Ball on the far side of the field. Was Roop with it on the diagonal. Ball cut off, and here comes the Denver Pioneers one more time. Aggies trying to find a combination to get back into this game as they trail 3-2 here in the second half. And we've got a substitution. It will be Sydney Becerra checking out of the lineup for Texas A&M. And checking in will be Kat Campbell. There you see, let's see. Yep, it's Campbell. And we're gonna have a hydration break here. One ear in each half. Be back in a couple of minutes. Don't you go anywhere. Texas A&M and Denver here in College Station.
We now return to our interview with the insurance whistleblower.
I just think everyone should know there's an insurance company out there exposing other companies' rates so you can compare them and save.
Sounds like trouble.
It's great, actually. It's called Auto Quote Explorer from Progressive. Here, look. See, we show you our direct rates and their rates, even if we're not the lowest.
So whistleblower usually means you're exposing something bad.
I thought it meant calling attention to something helpful. You know, like... Toot, toot.
Put the Pioneers up 3-2. The Aggies got up early, 1-0, and then Denver tied it up 1-1. Then Denver went ahead 2-1. The Aggies tied it up 2-2 in the waning moments of the first half. And then here in the second half, Denver has gone back on top again, 3-2. And that's where we are right now with 20 minutes and 40 seconds left to play. Again, remember, not a new rule this year, but instituted last year. no overtime in regular season games. So if we come down to the Aggies for some reason score and tie it up 3-3 or have it, however it ends up in a tie, it'll go down as a tie. There's no overtime. We're going to play 90 minutes, and that's it. Whistle and a foul call there on Texas A&M, and a free kick coming up for Denver.
And so the biggest thing now for Texas A&M is in possession from the defensive third. How do they break pressure? How do they consistently break pressure from their defensive third? And secondly, once they've broken pressure, how can they consistently get into the attacking third? Again, we've seen some promise from Taylor Jernigan out wide right, but really we haven't seen anything dangerous. Services into the box, combination play through the center channel or back into those central mids in the center channel. So they've got to generate some offense. They can't rely on Denver shooting themselves metaphorically in the foot with turnovers in the middle third. That's what led to A&M's second goal. They've got to be more creative and generate more consistent offense.
Long ball from Calzada to Pirro down in the corner. Pirro down in the corner on the near side. That's Kennedy Clark with it at her feet. Calzada now.
Played advantage there. I'm not sure I agree with that.
Yeah, I saw that as well, particularly since the Aggies had to play the ball back as a result of the contact. Pirro sends a high ball in. Ball bounding around at the top of the sixth. Reese Roop was there in the vicinity but couldn't get on the end of the ball.
Great entry pass there from Kennedy Clark into Georgia Leb. Georgia Leb could have turned and attacked the near post. Thought she had pressure. She had tight pressure with her back to goal and tried to find an outlet. Kind of a little bit of a missed opportunity there. She didn't check her shoulder upon receiving that ball. She could have turned and attacked that near post.
Ball lost out of bounds. Margot Matula. It'll be a throw-in for Denver. Checking into the line, or excuse me, with the throw-in is going to be Kira Flanagan. She'll take the throw-in. And it'll all end up with a goal kick. As Pirro and Blythe Sales got tangled up over there in the alley to our right. Comes Armenta for Texas A&M. It's Calzada with a long ball forward. Sent out of bounds by the Pioneers, and we got a substitution coming up. We have got a line change coming up for A&M as Jasmine Wilkinson will check into the lineup along with Allison Lowry. Mia Pante comes in along with Micaiah McDonald for Texas A&M. And a turnover right there from Sydney Becerra. Blythe Sales trying to capitalize on it. Down in the corner, Flanagan gets across and does, headed away by the Aggies. And then sent out of bounds by Mia Pante. It'll be another throw-in for Denver. The Aggies look a little here in the second half, particularly in the last few minutes. It's a little hectic, disorganized.
Well, it's more. It is that, Dave, without question, and that's a function of what Denver's doing offensively. But they're reactive. They're very reactive right now. They're not very proactive with their movement, especially when trying to break pressure, especially through the middle third. They've got to increase their work rate both offensively and defensively. Again, A&M with only one shot, which happened to be on frame, and that was a deflection when a clearance went off of Reese Roop and was saved by Wisman. So not much to speak of offensively here in the second half.
That's Pounds with it. Pante sends the ball over the top, trying to get it to Pirro, but she's not going to be able to run it down. And it will go over the inline. It'll be a goal kick coming up for the Denver Pioneers. I mentioned Texas A&M be at home on Saturday night. That is a special start time of 8 o'clock for the Aggies. And it's the annual fish camp game This place will be SRO. As you see, Texas A&M head coach G. Guerreri. It will be standing room only here for the Fish Camp game. It's always a lot of fun. So come on out if you're in town. Nothing else going on in Bryan College Station that weekend. Football won't get cranked up yet, so the pointy football, I should say, instead of the round football. Pirro wins it. Calzada comes out with it, but the Pioneers get it right back, take a shot. Can't finish on that. Cleared away by the Aggies. Here comes Allie Lowry for Texas A&M. Sends the ball ahead and does. Gets it to Wilkinson. What a tackle in the penalty area. Great job there by Emma Thielbar.
Boy, she's been
that was a
big time. Wow.
Textbook tackle right there.
She has been big time in the second half there. Again, 1v1. Again, the ball going away from goal there, but Jazz Wilkinson had the chance to get on the end of that and cut it inside and attack the goal if Thielman would have overran it, but threw that tackle right at the right moment.
Ball swung in and headed there by the Aggies. Can't get it on frame. Micaiah McDonald sends it. It's going to be Becerra. Just
so
wide of the post.
And what a great layoff there. What a great decision from Taylor Jernigan. Just perfectly weighted that pass right into Becerra. Just a one-timer. Tried to bend it into that far post. Did not miss by much. Would have beaten Wisman there. Look at her calling for the ball. I mean, that just would have been, obviously would have been the equalizer, but just would have been just a highlight reel of a goal.
Michaela McGowan checks out of the lineup. Kira Flanagan. Here on the near side, Crockett chipped it ahead there to Goodrich. And it's going to go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Denver. Substitution here for Denver. Checking back into the lineup is going to be Michaela McGowan. Coming out, Kira Flanagan will check out. What a tackle there, Margot Matula. Again, we've seen some great tackles tonight, and that was a good one right there as well. You see number 22, Matula, for Texas A&M. Look at this.
Great
job.
Again, sliding tackle, almost a sliding poke tackle there with the ball side foot. Textbook timing. Again, her and Thielman are putting on a show.
Corner kick for Denver.
And she had to make it. If she didn't have it, one of two things was going to happen. They were in the box or she was going to give up a PK. So just a crucial tackle there.
Ball headed away for Texas A&M by Jazz Wilkinson and then cleared by Becerra.
And speaking of crucial, Dave, I mean, just over 12 minutes left in the game. A&M has really got to turn it on if they're going to find the equalizer. Again, you got to take a couple chances and press a little higher, step the back line a little higher.
Burrow gets the ball in the middle to Wilkinson. Jazz Wilkinson with it, cuts it back. Lowry's going to take a shot. It'll go wide.
Yeah, left-footed effort. I think she was trying to go far post there. Wisman had the near post covered. I think she just got on the inside of that ball and mishit it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But great recognition here from Jazz Wilkinson on the ball. Yeah, I really think she was trying to go far post there and just kind of sliced it, kind of came outside in on that ball and harmlessly put it into the side netting.
I did that with my 7-iron here a couple of days ago.
You do that with fill in the blank club, Dave Ellis.
That is true. There is something to be said for that.
I've never seen somebody slice a putt, but you managed to.
Oh yeah, I can do it. I've got talent just that people haven't even seen yet. It's incredible. All right, throw in for Denver, and we've got a substitution coming up for the Pioneers. Checking back into the lineup is going to be Megan Murray, number 18.
Come on, here we go, guys. Heads up. First and second ball.
Get you a little bit of, establish a little bit of possession here, a little bit of combination play. Denver with a numerical advantage there in that box midfield through the center channel.
Whistle and a foul called. Becerra taken down from behind by Vanessa Murray. It'll be a free kick coming up for Texas A&M. Pounds will put the ball back in play quickly. We're approaching the 10-minute mark here left in the game. Again, the Aggies on the short end of a 3-2 score against the Denver Pioneers. Becerra has it poked away from her. And goes down. Looks like she got hit right on the end of the toe. Calzada gets the ball back across the halfway line, but cleared back by the Pioneers.
Come on, Ness. You got it, Ness. 10 minutes. Here we go. To you. Composed and solid to you. Composed.
Ball will still belong to Denver. Under 10 minutes now, 9:25 left. Nice job there by Fuller to come out and make that save. Didn't hesitate. Came off her line and smothered it. She'll punt it away. Out on the far side. Ball sent in just a little bit too deep.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Dave. Allie Lowry was really the only one that had a chance on that. It bent it a little bit more. You had not only Jernigan, but Sid Becerra right behind her as well. Again, not a bad idea. Early ball from the middle third on the weak side. Not a bad idea, just didn't technically execute.
Whistle and a foul call. May have our first card of the night, and I believe we will. Ella Frost gets the card for Denver on the takedown of Becerra.
Clock stopped with 8:18. Again, here we've been talking about all night. Ball before player. Again, obviously didn't even make contact with the ball. Went through both legs of Becerra trying to win the ball on that sliding effort. A&M is gonna flood that far side.
Calzada will send it in. And right under the crossbar. And I think we're going to stop clock. We're going to see maybe if the ball was carried over the line. And that's what the Aggie fans behind that goal were contending. There you see them down there. They were contending that that's what happened, that the goalkeeper, Molly Wisman, carried the ball over the line.
And again, so Wisman cheating off of her line. Calzada recognizes that a deep effort here. And we'll see where. Yeah, hard to tell there. Yeah, but here's the angle. I don't know.
My gut tells me she didn't, but
yeah,
I'm just not sure.
It's really hard to tell. I think I'm with you, Dave.
Great shot. You're seeing what the center official is seeing.
And again, it has to be the entirety of the ball. It's not like a touchdown in pointy football, right, where you're breaking the plane.
There you go, no goal. All right. Again, VAR coming into the contest, and again, and I think in a positive way.
Yeah, this might be our best look at it. Yep, she kept that ball. Her body can go over the line. Again,
Absolutely.
It's about the entirety of the ball breaking the line, completely breaking the line, as opposed to football where just the nose or just a small portion of the ball has to break the plane to score a touchdown. But again, credit to the center official, Corey Rockwell. We've seen him at Ellis Field. He's a veteran official. I think he's one of the best in the nation. I think both of his VAR reviews have been justified. I think he's made the right call on those reviews and really done a good job managing this game.
Becerra to Wilkinson, and it's going to be poked. It'll be a corner kick coming up for Texas A&M. Jazz Wilkinson working hard to get that. At that last stoppage during the VAR review, we had Micaiah McDonald check into the lineup for the Aggies for Taylor Jernigan. Mia Pante will take the corner kick. Ball headed down. Now stop, guys. Calzada, who got under the ball, had an opportunity there, but just got her foot underneath it and sent it well over the crossbar.
Yeah, really unfortunate there. On some of these set pieces, it's the second ball is just as important as the initial ball. Again, Mia Pante hit that almost towards the PK. There was some humanity there, just not much of a threat from the initial contact, but the second ball you were able to attack and get a good look on frame. Unfortunately for A&M, Calzada got well underneath that ball. Late call here, yep.
Foul called, and it will be a free kick coming up for the Denver Pioneers. Down under 6:30 left. If you're a college soccer fan, this has been a fun game to watch. Here come the Aggies. That was Allie Lowry, got a foot on it, tried to turn it to get it to Jazz Wilkinson, but they don't connect. Calzada now with it at her feet.
We can win this ball.
Jordan Crockett tries to clear it out of bounds and goes off of Mia Pante. We're going to have a substitution. Two players checking in for the Pioneers. They will be Hannah Tate along with Lieve Moritz. Lowry trying to chase that ball for Texas A&M. It's going to go over the end line. A goal kick coming up.
I imagine Denver will try to find the perfect blade of grass for this goal kick.
Right, from their perspective,
yeah,
you're right.
Kill as much time as possible. Just over 5 minutes left in regulation. But again, to your point, there is no overtime. A tie is a tie. If A&M were to find the equalizer.
McGowan again. Nice combination there to Murray. And she's going to take it down into the corner, just as you were talking about, try to kill some time. The Aggies come out with it and send it into the middle of the field to Becerra, but she has it poked away there. And Denver wins it back. Throw in again for Denver. They're doing exactly what they need to do.
Yeah, and you know, it's a tale of two halves offensively for Denver. Very reliant on the counterattack in the first half. In this half, they've established a lot more possession, and that starts with the ability to break pressure. And most of their pressure has been broken by finding the feet of Michaela McGowan on this right side. But again, their center mids have been more involved. Again, a lot more possession has been established at all three levels by Denver here in the second half.
Wisman comes off her line to clear it, and here comes Denver one more time. That's Hannah Tate with the ball, lays it out. Trying to get the ball there to Murray, but Pante steps in front for Texas A&M. Matula sends the ball ahead. Now winning it there is going to be Clark right down the middle of the field. That's got to be a foul, and it will be.
Yeah, I think that's a card because Thielman was obviously trying to grab. Kennedy Clark did a great job kind of fighting Thielman off there, trying to grab an arm, grab a jersey, anything to slow that counterattack. But again, we've talked about it. Kennedy Clark just low center of gravity, great balance, really good in tight spaces on the ball. Able to fight off Thielman until she threw a tackle from behind.
Thielbar,
rather.
A transfer, a sophomore transfer from San Diego, but has played a very good game tonight, but that was not the kind of play you want to make, because it gives Sydney Becerra an opportunity for a set piece right in the middle of the field. And Becerra has options from here. She can put the ball on frame. She can try to chip the ball in, and that's what she does. Ball on the ground, shot off the crossbar, and sent away the Aggies with an opportunity there, but it went right off the crossbar. Matula for Texas A&M. And the ball went behind Jazz Wilkinson. She can't track it down. Let's take another look at that last shot.
And again, good decision here. Right decision from Sydney Becerra. Just a high chip, plenty of backspin, looking for the flick. A little bit of deflection there. Mia Pante finds at her feet, just hits it with her second touch, and just shakes the goal off the crossbar. Again, just inches away from finding the equalizer. Wisman completely beat on that if it were to find the back of the net.
The clock winding down on the Aggies and their hopes of getting back or coming out with a tie. And if the score holds, what a victory it would be for the Denver Pioneers on the first stop on their Texas road trip. Again, they play next on Sunday.
Again, their sixth consecutive Summit League. You know, last year did not make the NCAA tournament. Got upset in the semifinals, I believe, of their conference tournament. But definitely a tournament caliber team last year, and apparently again this year.
Throw in again for the Pioneers. Taking their time. Pante gets in front to Becerra. Ahead to Lowry, to Kennedy Clark. Clark was still with the ball. To Pante, ahead to Lowry. She'll switch the field far side. It'll go to Addie Armenta for Texas A&M. Out wide, that's Michaela McDonald. Ball out of bounds, another throw in for the Aggies. As time starts to wind down, there you see one of the play clocks in the background. Throw in again for Texas A&M. Kennedy Clark out to Micaiah McDonald. Ball one over in the corner. And a throw in for Denver. Nice effort over there. I believe that was Hannah Tate down in the corner doing such a good job defensively. Down to 30 seconds left. Campbell, a long ball forward, and it will be fielded as we hit the 10-second mark. Ball's going to be put in play by Molly Wisman again, sent out of bounds, and that is going to do it. The Denver Pioneers come from behind and beat the Aggies here in College Station by the score of 3-2. Jeff, Your thoughts, first of all, on this game from the perspective of each team.
Well, for Denver, I mean, a phenomenal win. Again, goes without saying, well-deserved. Again, completely different offensive philosophies. Something you saw similar in their game against North Carolina. Again, a mental adjustment at halftime, really respond in the second half, tied the game before eventually losing it 2-1 to North Carolina. Here, went down early. Again, in the first half, very counterattack-minded. A&M had the run of possession, really was the better team. Just missed opportunities for Texas A&M in the first half, came back to bite them. A&M found the late equalizer after Denver had temporarily taken the lead 2-1, and then the second half it was all Denver. It really was. A&M could not find anything consistent offensively, could not find any rhythm in their possession, really was not dangerous going forward. Denver, on the other hand, had 3 legitimate dangerous opportunities within the first 3 minutes of the second half and really never let off the gas. So a lot of film, a lot to learn. Denver with a ton of momentum, A&M with a little bit of a reality check here in the second game of the season.
All righty, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and sum things up right after this. The final score, Denver 3-2 over the Aggies. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.